Dombey and Son by Charles Dickens. In Dombey and Son, Charles Dickens explores the life of Paul Dombey, a stern businessman who values his son as an heir to his fortune while disregarding his daughter Florence. Following his son's death, Dombey faces business failure and personal isolation. Dickens delves into themes of paternal pride, the societal role of women, and the coldness of the business world. Florence's enduring love and resilience shine as a beacon of hope. The novel critiques the mercenary aspects of Victorian society, emphasizing the importance of compassion and familial bonds over material success and social status. Let's deep dive into the book. The birth of a son. Dombey and Son begins with the birth of Paul Dombey Jr., the much-anticipated male heir to the wealthy and proud businessman, Mr. Paul Dombey. The event is marred by tragedy, as Mrs. Dombey dies shortly after giving birth. Mr. Dombey's indifference to his daughter Florence intensifies, as he sees her as irrelevant to his legacy. The newborn's health is fragile, and his future becomes a central concern of the narrative, setting the stage for themes of familial duty, neglect, and the search for love. Florence's lonely childhood. Florence Dombey grows up in the shadow of her brother, largely ignored and unloved by her father, who is consumed by his business and the desire to see his son fulfill the expectations of the Dombey name. Florence's loneliness and her quest for affection form a stark contrast to her father's coldness. Her loving nature and resilience become beacons of light in the otherwise emotionally bleak Dombey household, highlighting the warmth human relationships can bring to life's hardships. Paul's fragile health and education. Concerns about Paul Jr.'s health lead to his being sent to the seaside for recovery, where he and Florence form a deep sibling bond. Despite temporary improvements, Paul remains delicate. He is later sent to Dr. Blimmer's Academy, a rigorous school where he struggles with the pressure to live up to his father's expectations. His time at the academy is a poignant exploration of childhood innocence and the weight of familial expectations, culminating in a further decline in his health. The downfall of Mr. Dombey's pride. Mr. Dombey's pride and obsession with his business and legacy lead to a series of personal and professional failures. His marriage to Edith Granger, a beautiful but unhappy woman, is orchestrated as a business transaction rather than a loving partnership. The marriage quickly deteriorates, marked by mutual resentment and lack of affection, reflecting Dombey's inability to connect with others on a human level. Edith's eventual departure serves as a critical blow to Dombey's pride and social standing. Florence's love and loss. Florence's unwavering love for her father, despite his neglect, contrasts sharply with the crumbling relationships in the Dombey household. After Paul Jr.'s death, which devastates the family and shatters Mr. Dombey's hopes for a legacy, Florence's attempts to comfort her father are rebuffed, leaving her more isolated than ever. Her pain is compounded by the loss of her closest companion, her brother, and her place within her own family, showcasing the depth of her resilience and capacity for love. Walter Gay's journey. Walter Gay, a young man employed by Mr. Dombey and secretly in love with Florence, is sent away to the West Indies on business, a move engineered by Mr. Dombey to separate him from Florence. Walter's voyage, fraught with danger and uncertainty, symbolizes the lengths to which true love will go to endure. His presumed loss at sea deepens the novel's exploration of loss, hope, and the endurance of love through adversity. The rise and fall of Mr. Carker. James Carker, Mr. Dombey's manipulative manager, plays a pivotal role in the Dombey family's fortunes. His schemes and treachery, including his involvement in the breakdown of Mr. Dombey's marriage and his predatory interest in Edith, highlight the destructive power of ambition unchecked by morality. Carker's eventual downfall and death, pursued by Mr. Dombey for betrayal, serve as a cautionary tale about the consequences of deceit and the moral bankruptcy that often accompanies the quest for power. reconciliation, and redemption. Florence's marriage to Walter Gay, who miraculously returns from the sea, marks the beginning of her journey towards happiness and fulfillment, independent of her father's fortune or name. Their union, based on mutual love and respect, stands in stark contrast to the relationships defined by Mr. Dombey's pride and materialism. This marriage symbolizes hope and renewal, offering a counterpoint to the novel's earlier depictions of dysfunctional family dynamics. Mr. Dombey's desolation and enlightenment. Mr. Dombey's financial ruin and social ostracization, the culmination of his prideful and neglectful behavior, force him to confront the emptiness of his life. His journey from the brink of suicide to a gradual realization of the value of human connection and affection is one of the novel's most compelling arcs. The humility and understanding he gains through these trials pave the way for a possible reconciliation with Florence, suggesting that redemption is possible even for those most lost to their own failings. A family reunited. The novel concludes with the Dombey family, though much altered, finding a semblance of peace and unity. Mr. Dombey's reconciliation with Florence, now accompanied by her own children and husband Walter, marks a significant transformation in his character, from prideful isolation to loving engagement with those around him. This reconnection represents not just the healing of familial wounds, but also the triumph of love, compassion, and humility over wealth and social status. The narrative closes on a hopeful note, with the Dombey name carried forward not through business or wealth, but through the bonds of family and the enduring power of forgiveness. Let's explore together the main themes and concepts of the book. Pride and its downfall. In Dombey and Son, Charles Dickens examines the destructive nature of pride, particularly through the character of Mr. Dombey, whose obsession with his own social status and the continuation of the family name leads to personal and familial tragedy. Dombey's pride blinds him to the value of emotional connections, particularly with his daughter Florence, and ultimately contributes to his business failures and loneliness. The theme is a cautionary tale that illustrates how excessive pride can isolate individuals from the love and support of those around them, leading to their downfall. Family and alienation. Dickens explores the complexities of family dynamics and the deep sense of alienation that can arise within familial relationships. Mr. Dombey's disregard for his daughter Florence in favor of his son, who he sees as his true heir, exemplifies the potential for emotional neglect and misunderstanding to sever family bonds. The novel delves into the ways in which individuals can become estranged from their families, either through neglect, misunderstanding, or the pursuit of misguided priorities, emphasizing the importance of compassion, understanding, and reconciliation in overcoming such alienation. The role of women in society. Dombey and Son offers a critique of the limited roles available to women in Victorian society, showcasing how female characters, including Florence, Edith, and others, navigate and often resist their prescribed roles. Florence's strength, kindness, and resilience challenge the expectations placed upon her, while Edith's unhappy marriage to Mr. Dombey serves as a critique of marriages arranged for social and financial gain rather than love. Dickens highlights the inner strength and moral fortitude of his female characters, arguing for the recognition of their worth beyond societal expectations. Wealth and materialism. The novel critiques the Victorian era's emphasis on wealth and material success, illustrating how such values can corrupt personal relationships and moral integrity. Mr. Dombey's prioritization of his business and the accumulation of wealth over his relationships with his children exemplifies the dangers of valuing material success over human connections. Dickens contrasts the empty, unhappy lives of those obsessed with wealth and status with the fulfilling, love-filled lives of characters who prioritize human relationships, suggesting that true happiness is found in love and companionship rather than material wealth. Redemption and forgiveness. Throughout Dombey and Son, Dickens explores the possibilities for redemption and the power of forgiveness. Mr. Dombey's eventual realization of his mistakes and his attempts to reconcile with Florence illustrate the theme of redemption. The novel suggests that even those who have made significant errors and have been led astray by pride or materialism have the capacity for change and can be redeemed through love, understanding, and forgiveness. This theme underscores the novel's optimistic belief in the inherent goodness of people and the possibility of second chances. Let's talk about the author. Charles Dickens, born in 1812 in Portsmouth, England, emerged as a literary colossus of the Victorian era, renowned for his vivid storytelling, memorable characters, and incisive critique of societal inequities. His early life, marred by poverty and hardship, profoundly influenced his writing, imbuing it with a deep compassion for the underprivileged. Dickens's novels, including classics like Great Expectations, Oliver Twist, and A Christmas Carol, explore themes of social injustice, poverty, and redemption, capturing the complexity of human nature and the societal challenges of his time. His masterful narrative artistry and relentless advocacy for social reform cemented his legacy as one of the greatest writers in English literature. Sincere thanks for watching. If you found this summary helpful, consider taking a moment to subscribe, like, or share the video. If you have any feedbacks or book requests, make sure to leave a comment. Regardless, I wish you a great day.